Scott Leckie here from Democracy Tomorrow. I have a special treat today. Not that many times in your life do you get to see a book in print that you yourself, and in this case with a friend and colleague, wrote for the very first time. So I just got a package from one of my publishers, Ethics Press, in the mail today, delivered by a nice gentleman. And I have it here, and I'm going to open it up and let you see it for the very first time and let myself see it for the very first time. So I got it here. I don't know how many copies they gave us for free, but they gave us a few. Here we go. Here we go. I don't know if it happens. First part of the phase. Second part. Looks like they got a few copies here. That's good. 4 copies. Okay. I'll take that. And I've written a lot of books. It's always really nice the very first time. Get to see a book of our very own, and there it is. There it is, Exploring the Rights of Climate Displaced Persons, a book I wrote together with my friend and colleague Sean Buta, the assistance of many others, a kind foreword from our friend Andre Hoffman. And this book explores a whole range of issues on the question of climate displaced persons, looking particularly at unique and innovative ways that this tragically growing phenomenon can be addressed. So we look at, human rights law and human rights case law and how it addresses these issues. We look at the need for every government in the world to establish a national climate displacement ministry. If your government doesn't have one of those yet, maybe it's time to start trying to advocate for that, so that there's a specialized agency in place that actually is mandated and trusted with finding viable long-term rights-based solutions for every single family, every single household, every single individual within your country who is no longer able to live where they're currently living due to the effects of climate change. Every single government in the world should have such a body in place as soon as possible to grapple better with this global, growing, and horrible phenomenon. We talk a lot about the issue of linking together land regeneration, improving biodiversity, and resolving and preventing climate displacement as one package in another chapter, whereby the huge portion of degraded land on planet Earth, and in your country, wherever you are, wherever you're watching this from, a huge portion of the land in your country will have already been severely degraded and no longer of any commercial use or commercial viability. Some estimates point to anywhere between 25 to even 60% of the Earth's land surface, our very finite land surface on which we all depend for agriculture and food and so on and so forth, has been degraded beyond any level that would allow it to regenerate itself on its own. I mean, this is a horrible situation, an indictment on our global economic system. We need to regenerate and restore that land. We need to increase rather than decrease biodiversity, and we need to solve and address climate displacement. So let's do all three in one package. So we propose a whole series of measures about how to do that. And then we go into incredible detail about what is a new test case that could be filed globally to finally address very structurally and very comprehensively the specific housing, land, and property rights held by climate displaced people everywhere. We want to get a precedent-setting case approved by the highest possible court that clearly indicates that the law already stipulates that every person everywhere has a legally enforceable right to a new piece of land and a new dwelling if they're no longer able to live on the current land they live on or within the current dwelling in which they live due to the effects and consequences of climate change. We had a lot of assistance in that chapter with a range of efforts, including in particular Viraj Akuthota, who did the preliminary research into some of these legal issues. And then we conclude with a whole series of particular steps that governments everywhere can take to better address the rights of climate displaced persons. So there's the book, everybody. It's available from Ethics Press now. If past history is anything to go by, it will become available in paperback in a few months' time. And we hope this will be of interest to people. If you have any questions about it or comments, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you. We hope that this book will make a really positive and meaningful contribution to the debate and discussion on the rights of climate displaced people, and that they will be accorded the rights that they already enjoy in law, in reality, by governments across the world, rich, poor, big, small, everywhere. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe if you like Democracy Tomorrow. If you think that Planet Love is better than Planet Hate, if you think that we are all in this together as fellow humans sharing the same planet, that a better future can be possible if we all work together to achieve it, and that the earth on which we live is the same earth that provides everything that all of us humans need to have a free and fair and equitable and prosperous life. And if we manage ourselves on the basis of our shared humanity, where we focus really on what we share and not the comparatively small number of things that divide us, we can move forward, we can make progress, we can evolve and reach out our hands in friendship and love and compassion and concern and build that planet, not one based on hatred, not one based on discrimination, not one based on bombing, not one based on terror, not one based on one side believing they're somehow better and more capable than any other. Not that world, but a world that is based on our shared existence as human beings. Thank you very much for watching. We wish you all the best wherever you are. May your life today and into the future be full of joy and glee, and may happiness pervade all.